Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be talking about the North American stream that occurred on Friday. So, as with any North American stream there will be like new content being teased, released, as well as announcements for up and coming events. However, this was a special 6th year anniversary stream, and to kind of kick it all off, all players are going to be receiving 100 magic stones. Now, before anyone cries foul that Japan is receiving 200, Japan is receiving 200 magic stones over the course of 2 months. We are receiving 100 magic stones for the month of November, all in one go. But they have also strongly mentioned that there will be more content coming soon. So there is no real reason why we shouldn't be receiving as many stones as Japan did. It's just bad business sense that they did that. So fear not, we will most likely receive those extra 100 stones in the future. But for now, we get 100 stones in November. And this video/article will help describe ways you can spend them efficiently, as well as recapping all the new and exciting events that are coming to North America for the month of November. In all honesty, this November is looking like the most exciting month I've ever seen for Puzzle & Dragons in terms of like the sheer amount of new and exciting content/rewards being introduced. So, 100 magic stones. I didn't even continue reading. Well done, me. So, 100 magic stones is a walloping amount. Like a pack of stones, which is 85, which costs $85+ Canadian, is an incredibly large amount. And there's a strong chance that many players may have never ever achieved the 100 magic stone milestone, so to speak. And you may feel almost a little overwhelmed, like you won the lottery. What are you going to do and spend your winnings on? Well, blowing them all in one go may or may not necessarily be the best path to take, and I kind of want to provide some at least guidance or insight as to where you can spend your magic stones efficiently. So basically, magic stones are the premium currency in Puzzle & Dragons because they cannot be reliably farmed. Yes, you can go out and clear dungeons, but after a certain point, the dungeons run out, and then you have to wait for new dungeons to be released, and then you only get one stone per clearing them. Like, it's a very slow trickle. Like, magic stones have a terribly slow trickle, in my opinion, overall, when I compare it to other games that I've played in the past, like Fire Emblem Heroes, where you just get their equivalent's currency pooped out like no other. But with 100 stones now, this is like several months plus worth of free stones being given out. So this is a big windfall for the most part. And spending them all in the rare machine for either like Godfest, Super Godfest, or collab seasonal events is kind of like taking a gamble. Like, there's no guarantee as to what is going to happen. You may get really lucky and be very happy, but at the same time, you may be sad and or disappointed. So before you just start blowing your load in the rare machine, maybe you should think about expanding your monster box or friends list space. So upon the initial release of Puzzle & Dragons, we had only 20 monster box space to begin with, which was not serviceable. It was very difficult to actually manage and work around. There were people who did the 20 box space challenge, which I think was kind of crazy in all honesty, but hey, to each their own. Over time, we've had our box space expanded to 100, and then we've had the plus bank, evolution material stacking, and awakening material stacking. So there is lots of box saving techniques now available, but even so, 100 is not necessarily enough to truly function. You probably want to get more. And for the cost of 1 magic stone, you can expand your box by 5. So if you're rolling a regular rare machine, that is basically 25 box space. So you have to think, for 25 box space, will I have a chance at getting something that'll make me happier than 25 box space? And of course, box space does obviously have diminishing returns. Once you get your box to a large enough limit that you don't really feel pressured to constantly be selling or fusing things away on a regular basis, you've probably kind of hit your soft limit for this point in time, and you may not necessarily need more box space. With that being said, if you constantly find yourself fusing and selling and running out of box space, maybe it is honestly time to just add some more. If you even just add like 25 or even 50, that's just 5 or 10 magic stones. That's 5 or 10% of the big windfall we're going to have. You're going to be so much happier. You can fill your box up. You can have more time to basically clean it up. Like, it's just a lot easier to play when you have a bigger monster box. So I would encourage players, especially those with smaller monster boxes, to at least spend a portion of this 100 magic stones on more box space, because it's just going to make your life that much easier moving forward. And the thing is, box space is permanent. It never goes bad. You're never going to necessarily, you can't lose box space over time. You can't, or it's never going to be like, you can't roll a bad box space, so to speak. So it's a permanent, worthwhile investment that has no real downside unless you're in thousands and thousands at this point. Friend space. So Right now, we can have 50 friend space by default once you rank up enough times, and then for one magic stone, you can add 5 additional friend slots. So there is going to be a big quality of life improvement in the future where players are going to be able to basically take a team of 6 into dungeons, so you'd actually bring both the leaders and 4 subs. So you need 6 different cards to bring in. And yes, this definitely can help alleviate some of the friends list problem, but the thing is, having a bigger and more varied friends list can help you out moving forward. You can guarantee yourself more chances to find a leader pairing that works for you when you don't actually have 2 of the same card. Like for instance, let's say you want to run a Yusuke team. Most players don't have 2 Yusukes to bring both in the dungeon itself. So you want to obviously have friends who run Yusuke. So having a large enough friends list means you won't have to struggle to find matching leaders. Conversely, or in addition to that I should say, every time you are used by a friend or use a friend, you receive PAL points. And PAL points are used to roll in the palling machine during various carnivals for various perks and benefits, which can include enhanced and evolution materials, Tamadras, or plus eggs. So there are lots of great ways to spend your PAL points, and by having a bigger friends list, you are going to be having more PAL points generated on a daily basis. So it's just going to make your life, again, easier overall. So again, if you have only 50 friend space, maybe you may want to consider expanding it more, because again, remember, one roll in a 5-stone rare machine is the equivalent to 25 friends. So again, how much happiness will 25 friends and how much PAL points will that bring you over time? Because the sooner you have more friends, the sooner you start generating PAL points, and that is a permanent investment. Like for myself, I naturally have quite a large pool of best friends. I'm still looking for more, of course, but I do gain PAL points on a very, very large and regular basis, so I can roll the palling machine all the time. But if I never expanded my friends list, I wouldn't have these extra PAL points to play around with for these past several years. So again, it is a worthwhile investment, and it may be worth considering spending, again, a small portion of your big 100 magic stones on box space. Now, if you already have a sufficiently large monster box and a sufficiently large friends list, maybe you want to figure out what is the best rare machine to spend my magic stones. So I'm going to be kind of just highlighting the big noteworthy events that are coming and possibly coming in the near future. So first things first, the Dragonbound Dragoncaller should be coming in 2018. My gut feeling is telling me that the big announcement that's coming in mid-November is going to be Dragonbound Dragoncaller, which has been revamped to include sizable buffs and new cards in the lineup. And in all honesty, the Dragonbound Dragoncaller event is possibly the highest value machine in the game. And that is because the cards at the 5-star rarity are actually incredibly valuable and are worth actually pursuing. So you roll in the event, and if you get the bottom rarity card, you're more than likely going to be happy still because it's something you actually want to have. And because of that, it's well justified spending 10 magic stones because you are going to be gaining something pretty much truly meaningful and beneficial for your monster box. So if you have not rolled the Dragonbound Dragoncaller event, I strongly encourage you to roll heavily in it to at least get the 5 stars, and any diamond eggs you roll along with it are obviously going to make you happier as well. But remember, you want to acquire those 5-star cards. Now, of course, if you're like myself who has rolled it heavily in the past, there is less merit to rolling more because I already own the 5-star cards. So getting my 9th Chazelle or 10th Chazelle at this point in time does me no good. So I'd rather not roll in the Dragonbound Dragoncaller if you're saturated enough with the lower rarity cards. Because the top tier prizes are going to be incredibly hard to roll. And again, for a 10 magic stone cost, it's going to be a little problematic overall. Next are Super Godfests. So we have these regular bi-monthly Godfests, and they feature about 10-11% chance of rolling any Godfest exclusive. Now, Super Godfests may or may not have an increased magic stone cost to roll in, but they tend to have significantly higher rolling rates for those Godfest exclusives. So even adjusting the magic stone price to a regular Godfest versus Super Godfest tend to come out ahead in terms of the raw percentage chance of rolling any Godfest exclusive. And Godfest exclusives are naturally powerful cards, but the thing is, the 6-star forms have kind of become trade fodder for the monster exchange system. Right now, for any 5-stone event, you are able to trade in 4 Godfest exclusives for a specific collab card of your choice. And because of that, you're able to completely avoid rolling in less than favorable events. Like for instance, the YYH collab, which featured Yusuke, really had nothing else of true value outside of Yusuke. And for myself on both of the accounts, I actually just Monster Exchange. I never rolled the event once because it had such bad value everywhere else. And that has kind of become the most optimal way to approach collabs, especially those with poor or middling value at the bottom. You just utilize the Monster Exchange system, get the high value card that you want, and just ignore it otherwise. So that is the main appeal of utilizing Super Godfest, is to acquire the 6-star Godfest exclusives to use as trade fodder for those single target value collab / seasonal rare machines. Now, Christmas. So we got Halloween on time. There's like a chance we'll get Christmas on time. Like, it'd be truly unusual if we did not have Christmas on time. It would just be kind of silly and sad to have Christmas in like February. So I do feel like we will have the Christmas event on around just late December timeframe, and it's probably going to follow a similar pattern to Halloween in the sense that the Halloween rare machine has pretty terrible value overall, but they introduced one big chase card and gave a buff to another top tier rarity card to make it a little more appealing. But because of that, it's better to just Monster Exchange for that event, and that's kind of how I would approach Christmas. At this point in time right now, unless they buff every card tremendously, which is not going to happen, it's best to avoid the Christmas rare machine. And even if they do introduce a brand new powerful and exciting card, use the Monster Exchange. If they give a giant buff to an existing card, use the Monster Exchange. So I would personally probably not spend Magic Stones on the Christmas rare machine. I'd rather save them for a much more lucrative or exciting event. Full Metal Alchemist. So in Japan, they had a revival of the Full Metal Alchemist collab, and basically they gave sizable buffs to all the 6-star cards. They gave them Super Awakenings, which means they can be limit broken. They also gave them Weapon Assist Evolutions, so they have even more diversity and value across various teams. So any 6-star card has a 10% chance of being rolled, but the thing is, 10% is still kind of low, and it may not be necessarily the 6-star card you actually want. So with that being said, maybe you again just utilize the Monster Exchange system and get something like Edward, who is actually becomes incredibly powerful with his latest buff, and it might help you advance and progress through new and challenging content because you now have a top tier leader in your monster box. Now, just remember, regardless of what I just said beforehand, the decision of whether or not to roll in any given event is dictated by your own personal needs, goals, and monster box. Just because one event may be highly desirable doesn't necessarily mean it's going to benefit you. For example, myself, I have plenty of the 5-star Dragonbound Dragoncaller cards, so the Dragonbound Dragoncaller event has low value for me to roll in because I already have the cards. Had I never actually rolled in the event in the past, then it would definitely be worth rolling in. So again, you have to use your own intuition as to whether or not the event is worth you rolling. And for all of those respective events, when they do come to North America, I plan to release some form of review of them to give you a bit more in-depth analysis as to what you can expect from it. So with that 100 Magic Stone component out of the way, I want to recap the North American stream as well as any notable events that are happening in the very near future, because November is quite a jam-packed month for Puzzle & Dragons content. So on Friday, the North American stream tends to always display and highlight feature new content, as well as showcasing a special challenge where various individuals play through a new dungeon that has been released. In the case of last Friday, it was Mine Descended, where the Gung-Ho employee Yusuke has totally no correlation to the great Puzzle & Dragons card Yusuke, as well as Wesley, which is a guest streamer, easily smashed their way through Mine Descended, and doing so has given all the following rewards to every player at a later date: 6 Rainbow Peas, Snow Globes, Diamond Dragon Fruits, King Tamadras, Jewels of Creation, as well as 1 free roll in the next Godfest. Pretty sweet rewards overall. We don't have to do anything for them. We got to watch them waltz through it. It was a great day overall. Now we come to the big and exciting parts. So we have our 6-year anniversary event, part 1. So because it says part 1, there's going to be a part 2, maybe a part 3, I don't know, but guaranteed part 2. That'd be just weird if they didn't have that. So there are the list of actual things happening can be quite long, but I only kind of just picked and chose the more noteworthy things, but you can click and read the full official post within my article here. So basically, we're going to be now replacing the 5-year anniversary Tamadras with the 6-year anniversary Tamadras. It's a power crept form of the anniversary Tamadra because it's now sold for 60,000 monster points and 600,000 coins. Great value. Previous one was like 55,000 and 555,000 coins, I think. So it's an upgrade overall. We have daily monster points, and we get 42,000 in total. We'll have daily evolution gem machines, so we get 7 rolls total. And then jewels, evo gems, and pies will be available in the monster exchange. I feel like the prices are a bit too high for them, so I don't think I would personally actually utilize it myself. But hey, it's an option for players who are desperate to acquire a certain thing that they can't get otherwise. Maybe it will provide some benefit for you there. There will be plus 30 descend, so you can get lots of pluses to be disappointed in Super Awakening rules. There will be normal dungeons reduced to 6 stamina. So this is important because now we can clear our challenge modes, which will be disappearing in the near future, very near future actually, or spam Legendary Earth. Legendary Earth is normally a 99 stamina dungeon, and for 6 stamina you can get kings as well as a reasonable amount of coins and rank experience. So you can chain your rank ups much more efficiently with Legendary Earth spam. Just a nice thing to keep in mind. There will also be 4 times experience in Arena 1 to 4. So instead of 2 times, it's 4 times. So basically just double all the experience values you see at this point in time. Coin dungeons will cost 6 coins each. Again, a great time to clear out your challenge mode. Clear out the coin dungeons for the Magic Stone before they are removed, as well as possibly dumping stamina in Tamadra Village if you're about to rank up and have nothing better to play. Again, this is part 1, so there'll be a part 2. Now we come to the 6th anniversary celebration bonus. So this is kind of on top of that listed event, which is nice and all, but in all honesty, it's these big celebration bonuses that are the real excitement. So this is where the 100 Magic Stones are coming from, but we will also have this 6-year anniversary experience of a lifetime. And this experience of a lifetime is truly mesmerizing because we will be able to clear a dungeon for not the regular 200,000, but 2 million rank experience. And this could be further boosted via Ganesha or Saline usage. So I strongly encourage players to utilize those leaders if you want to help chain your rank up more efficiently. Look, if you're starting a brand new alt account, this is definitely an amazing time to do so because you will rank up like no other and get your max stamina up much higher and be a lot happier overall. The special Palag, there will be a special Palag machine lineup for each week during the month of November. So during each week, we will be given 25,000 PAL points via mail. Now, these PAL points that are gained via the mail can be held for their 60-day time period. You don't have to claim them right away because the maximum number of PAL points you can have is 50,000. And if you have one of these events that you really want to roll strongly in, it's best to save the PAL points from the previous week and utilize them during the desirable time frame. So there will be the Extreme Enhanced Carnival, which will have obviously the enhanced materials, but as well as the chance of gaining a max level snow globe alongside of it. It's not a guaranteed, it's just included in the lineup. I don't know if the rolling rates are going to be good or not, but again, I will roll my PAL points because I generate them at a fast rate, so you can just kind of get a general idea of what to expect. There will be the Extreme Evo Carnival, which has the evolution materials as well as large Evo gems, which I think is kind of underwhelming. I don't know. Maybe that could be good. Maybe it can't be good. It's hard to say. Again, the rolling rates may or may not be beneficial. There'll be Extreme Plus Carnival, guaranteed plus 18 or 6 to each stat. So that's a great place to spend your PAL points. It's guaranteed you get exactly what you expect. No variance, just straight up 18 pluses. And then there's the Extreme Tamadra Carnival. Again, a very high value one. Even if you only get Tamadras are great. But you also have the chance at a King Tamadra, which is 9 Tamadras. So basically just, if you get 1 King Tamadra, that's the equivalent to basically 9 Tamadras when fusing into a card that has none of their 9 awakenings done. So again, each carnival, it lasts for a week. You get 25,000 PAL points per week. You can save them in the mail for a desirable outcome. Just because it says Snow Globe, Large Evo Gem, and King Tamadra does not mean they're going to be guaranteed. I'll be doing those rolls to just kind of get a general idea of what the rolling rates may or may not be like. And last but not least, there will be the chance for Reach, the Send a Machine. So basically for 10 days during the month of November, starting October 31st, we will be gaining 1 roll per day for a total of 10 days, where we can roll an evolved descend boss. So we can trade those in for their respective evolution gems, which is nice. But there's also going to be a microscopic chance at rolling Reach. I don't think it's going to be a very good chance overall. It's probably not going to happen for the vast majority of players, but hey, it's a chance at rolling reach. But in all honesty, just getting 10 evolved Descend bosses is pretty nice. It saves you some time and effort there. And then, as I already mentioned beforehand, there will be more content being announced on November 12th by Gung Ho NA, so stay tuned for that. So, in conclusion, November is looking like a pretty spectacular month, and if I'm not mistaken, this is probably the largest dump of content we've had, at least in the past several years, or kind of all time. This is definitely the most amount of Magic Stones ever given out at a single point, as well as what are truly spectacular and exciting events and rewards for the entire duration of November. So let me know what you think about this event happening in the comments below, as well as where or how you plan on spending your new 100 Magic Stones. Hopefully you'll have a Mantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.